We're both naughty boys, I know that. We might have a difference of opinion, but we'll certainly have an expression of our views and interests, won't we, Persona? Well, I always think that Alfie Jackson's a pillock, but...
There we go, he's stripping! Yeah, we go! This is what everyone pays to see. Because every other show sucks, and we are the saving grace of the IWF.
And you know what that is, Persona? Area Persona. Looks like that pillock DJB's been cutting and editing some blooming film there, hasn't he? Wait till I get hold of that pillock next Saturday. He's got to get a genital cuff. That's what he's going to get.
We've now got a nice little intro. We're officially a show. We've made it to episode 2 somehow. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most important, the most watched, the most seen, the must-see IWF Live, which is the Genius and the GOAT. We've been renewed for a second episode. We are here. The tortoise behind us is braying its tank, so if you hear it banging, that's what that is. Anyway, Colin, how are you doing on this fine Friday the 13th, spooky evening?
Oh, well, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. Looking forward to next Saturday, a Throne of Vengeance. You know, I've seen the card for it, and I'm going, oh dear, some people are going to get some whippings next weekend. There's some people going to nursing homes. There's some people going to go to the hospital. There's even someone going to end up in a bloody coffin. Come on, baby.
Speaking of someone ending up behind the coffin, obviously I've got this lovely television screen behind us right now, but it's currently just clicked off what it was on. Can we fix it? Has it broke? Oh no, it's there. And I'm just reviewing Dagon on his hands and his knees down there. And I've just been looking at that for the past 2 hours because it's a glorious sight. Little Batman, Raccoon Man, whatever he is these days.
Hey, don't worry. Don't worry. It's his birthday soon. Not a problem. I'm going to get a bus pass for him because he's that old now. He's going to need that for that cheap travel because, he's going to be walking on crutches after you've dealt with him next Saturday, isn't he?
If you seen him moving in this match against Marshall Warner, you would think he's like a 60-year-old man. Their knees are bloody gone.
Well, I tell you, that Marshall Warner, I did tell everyone on the commentary and before the event, this Marshall Warner, he's been around a bit, and I've seen him like at Rise with blooming, breaking blooming light tubes over his head. He gets a shellac of blood everywhere. He's hard as nails, is Marshall Warner. And I think the Prince underestimated him. But don't worry, he won't be underestimating you, will he, Persona? I think he'll be bricking it, to be honest. He's shouting out now. Oh, come on, Persona, I'll have you. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Walk into the den. It's as simple as that.
I'm going into the match full of confidence because one-on-one Dagon, no matter which stupid face he's got painted on or which stupid mask he's got on, he's never beat me one-on-one. Every time.
All the marbles as well. Nice win. You've never lost that title. You were robbed out of it. And you knew who robbed you? That general manager, DJB, with all his wonky ideas and, putting everything against you. Like that gauntlet, you just finished that match and then Walker nobbled you and Walker hours.
It was all perfectly planned.
Yeah, what a pig.
Anyway,
Eric, I'm not even saying that.
Yeah, there he is. DJB, the best GM. Anyway, before we move on to the upcoming show, we will briefly talk about the show that has just been, King's Rebellion. If that was its name, I think it was. It was the King's Rebellion. There we go. I was spot on. Obviously, this was our first ever IWF show at Grindon. And well, Colin? You had a front row seat for the entire show. What do you think?
Well, you lot upped me as soon as we fucking started, didn't you? You upped me. It was all about this, wasn't it? You know, all the fame.
Yeah.
You clobbered me, which I'm humbly and absolutely great. Really looking forward to this. Going to be absolutely magic. We started off Warner and Dagon, and Warner, he's he's a machine, isn't he? You know, I did love when he spat on that kid and said, "Well, that's probably the first wash he's had all week," and not a surprise, like.
No, I respect it because the audience are full of little cretins and tramps, and I've been saying that for about 2 years now. But I think Marshall made a serious impact in the IWF, not only to the audience but to the roster. Not me, I'd take his head off, but he made an impact. I think people were expecting this match to be a whitewash between Dagon and Marshall Warner, much like how Dagon versus Alfie Jackson a few shows ago was a whitewash. But we didn't get that. We got a very even back and forth. We got Dagon on all fours for a lot of the match. He did pick up the win, but it wasn't an easy one.
No, I knew that Marshall Warner was never going to be a pushover. As I say, I've seen this guy in a number of promotions now, and this guy, he's in his mid-20s. I think he's Marshall, but he's hard as nails. He'll go forever. He's got a gas tank on him, and he's quite technical, with his wrestling. So you just got to be careful what he is when he
Yep.
punches you and when he hits you. You feel it, and thinking about Dagon loves his chop fests and stuff like that. Yeah,
Well, so
try it. Try it. Um, we did have you had a bit of a match with young Jakob that we're not going to talk about, are we?
No. Do you know what? Do you know what it is? I'll be the bigger man in this situation, and I'll talk about it because just because I'm the best in the world doesn't mean that I will never lose a match. You're part of professional wrestling. Someday you will lose a match. You could go months without winning a match, but that doesn't mean that you are any worse than what you say you are. And I've got some pictures ready for when we're talking about this match because.
Yeah.
So if we can get the pictures on screen now of that lovely. Oh, there's Jakob hugging Dagon, and then there's another one. There's Jakob with his dad. Clearly,
Yeah. Pavel. That's Isabella. That's his mum.
Yeah, you know the whole family, you Colin.
I do. I do.
So, Colin, could you describe to me the emotions that were going on in the ring after Jakob beat me?
Well, I just thought Dagon went for a run in just to get a bit of, shall we say, get a bit of tailwind off Jakob's win. To be honest, I think he just went in there for a bit of shine. To be honest, the young lad. I know he's only 14. I must admit, he's bulked up significantly in his last 6 months, and he's even now when you see him, he's put some muscle on the top of his frame. Quick as a cat, and I'm just, I was surprised. I was very flipping surprised. But look, give him his due. Every dog has their day, don't they? Shall we say? But look, he shook his hand, everything fine. But
the main reason I wanted them pictures to come up is because after Jakob beat me, he was an emotional mess in the ring. He was crying, he was sobbing, the family were overjoyed, and they weren't just happy because he won a wrestling match. And there wasn't all that emotion and all that proudness because he won a wrestling match. The reason why there was so much emotion and why it was such a heartwarming moment in the IWF is because Jakob beat the best in the world. And not everybody can say they've done that. I think I can probably count on one hand the amount of people that have beat me in a singles match. So to all the people losing your touch to the young party prince, aren't we? Well, you are. You were loving touching the party prince when you stole all his thunder off his win. So, at least I can help them climb the ladder that is professional wrestling, and I'm not one of the vets that are standing in the way trying to get all the spotlight that they've worked so hard to gather. Anyway, as I was saying before, I was interrupted by Raccoon Man. So all that emotion because Jakob beat the best in the world, which not many people can say that they've done. So to all the people out there that want to discredit me and discredit my wrestling ability, to all them people that boo when I say that I'm the best in the world, people don't react like that after a match for no reason. Beating Persona is a bigger achievement than winning any championship in the IWF. And that right there just proved it. So everyone that wants to discredit me, watch that match back. Listen to how that room reacted.
It did. Absolutely. Stunning. Look, let's put that aside, Persona. That's in the books. Well, don't worry. You'll have your day with him again, I'm quite sure. And I'm sure the results will not be similar. And he might get a good shellacking. And as I always say to these young wrestlers, the only way you learn is being in that ring and while there's a crowd around you and wrestling. Some days you can have, as you say, weeks and months, you couldn't win. But, fair enough. It's all experience and ring time is what this kid needs. And absolutely. Third match, this was a triple threat. Danny, Alan Shaw and Spawn, which never ended up as a triple threat, did it? Because someone pulled a sickie, didn't he? Old Alan Shaw pulled a sickie on the job.
Well, so they say, but a little birdie told me that a certain hero and a certain good guy of the IWF decided to not be a very nice person at King's Rebellion.
I think the champion was trying to even the odds from a 2-on-1 to a 1-on-1 because he thought he could beat Danny Kaye. And guess what? He got rumbled. And I can imagine he was not a happy camper because I know Spawn, and when he gets a face on and when he gets angry, just everyone walks away, don't they? Just let him get into it. Yeah, a sickie. yeah. Enjoy it, Alan.
Yes.
Sickie. Sick note. Yeah, there he is.
Spawn attacked Alan Shaw before the match even commenced. Nobody knew it happened. The match went on as a singles match. Spawn thought he had even the odds and he's got the advantage back and he was going to win and all that kind of jazz. But didn't go his way. Danny Kaye, probably the upset of the night. Pinning the champion who I think everybody thought was going to retain. But our new Sovereign Shield champion is Danny Kaye, and Spawn is handed a loss.
Yeah. His first loss. Of his championship. He's held it right since July. And the lad, he'll be gutted. He'll be absolutely gutted. But with Spawn, as you know, he will refocus and then he'll knock the 7 bells out of someone else. And that 7 bells of this show is Alan Shaw. So these two are mates. Well, shall we say, you get in the ring, as they say, they're all enemies. Spawn, they just want to stick with you.
Alan Shaw obviously confronted Spawn after the match, made it apparent what had happened. Spawn then. Now, some would say that they sympathise with Spawn. I would say that his plan didn't work, so he's backtracked. Spawn allegedly says that he did the horrendous deeds that he done. I mean, absolutely disgusting behaviour. I could never do anything as vile and low life, but you can tell he's from Sunderland. Anyway, so Spawn said that he'd done the things that he'd done because the pressures of being a champion had gotten to him and that emotional struggles going on within the Lilac family for the past few months. Yappa, whinge, cry. And then DJB said that Spawn isn't getting off the hook fully. Yeah, if it was me, I probably would have been threatened to get sacked and stripped of everything and all that kind of jazz. But because it was Spawn, it's one of the favourites. They announced that it will be a match that we will touch on in a bit. Spawn made a mistake, as most young lads do. He's trying to make amends for his actions, and I respect that. Your parents made a mistake when they birthed you. Anyway, what was the next match on the King's Rebellion?
It was the... we won't go about the contract signing when you went through a table. We won't talk about that. Because he had you, didn't he? Regal Duos Championship, Thunder Flash versus Blaze of Glory. Oh, it was so happy, wasn't it? This match. Oh, they all loved each other, didn't they? It was a bromance, wasn't it?
It was sickening. You've got Thunder Flash, the newly crowned champions, coming out for the first title defense. You got Blaze of Glory at the intermission, getting all the fans behind them and getting all the fans to lick their asses before the match to try and get some sort of audience advantage. But came out, everyone was happy, everyone was all smiles. We're punching each other in the face and we're smiling while we're doing it, and we're doing flips over the ropes. And I'll give them credit, it was a very, very high intensity, quality tag team match. Thunder Flash obviously did retain. Blaze of Glory done a great showing the first time out. Audience was behind them. I think a lot of people were shocked that the audience were more in favour of Blaze of Glory than Thunder Flash. But Thunder Flash proved why they're the champions. They proved why they should still be the champions. And even though they didn't have the home field advantage, so to say, they still walked out the Regal Duos champions.
I can imagine that Blaze of Glory will be back at IWF very, very soon. Tag team like that.
Well, especially not up to me, but
I can see DJB. He's got some new friends, so they'll be back. I'm quite sure. You know what he's like? He likes his certain people on all the shows. Yeah,
just a small circle. These little clicks. I hear clicks. Get clicks out of wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Well, what happened to Hybrid against Copy? I couldn't believe this. Hybrid. He could have finished it in 30 seconds. He didn't. He wasted the time. These were mates of yours, and I was in commentary. He said, "Cover him, pin him," But he just wanted to give him a few more slaps around, and that was to the detriment of Hybrid, wasn't it? When Copy he rumbled him, didn't he? And got the surprise. That for me, I was like, "What? Copy's actually won a match?" And this guy was a fan weeks ago, and all of a sudden he's just gone over Hybrid, and Hybrid's got a match against Asylum this next week. He must be bricking it. Absolutely.
Well, obviously the last time that we've done this show, we spoke about Hybrid versus Copy before it happened, and I said that one day Copy is going to go out and he's going to beat a professional wrestler in a match. And I said, I don't know how you recover from that. And it happened a lot quicker than anticipated. Obviously, speaking of Hybrid before the show, this is before him and Alfie Jackson decided to walk out on us and beat all tools, but that'll get addressed at the upcoming show. Hybrid wasn't happy that he was in this match to begin with. He felt like he was above going in there with a fan, and said that no matter what, he's going to teach this fan a lesson. And I think that is why he didn't cover him, because he wanted to rough him up a bit and basically tell him that this isn't for you. But
it's a professional match. It's a professional match. It doesn't matter who the book you're against. You accepted the booking, you get in there and you knock 7 bells out of them. You get the pin, the money's the same, whether it lasts 30 seconds or 30 minutes. So go in there, get the job done, take your money, get home. But no, he lacked about.
What the detriment are now trying to do since losing the tag titles is they've said that they're going to turn a new leaf. They're going to get the fans behind them and they're going to do things the right way this time. Obviously, Hybrid went to use a steel chair in the match, which isn't the right way of doing things, so I've heard. Alfie Jackson in the audience convinced Hybrid to put the chair down, which ultimately led to Hybrid's defeat. So,
well, if he'd hit him with the chair and the ref seen him, he would have lost. So probably it was a good idea. But still, keep your eye on the task. Focus. You're not there to please the crowd. You're there to get a job done. It's very simple. And we finish off with the champion Walker against the tank Rory Shaw. Dear me.
I think this match was just very old school wrestling, just meat, hitting meat. There's a tortoise at my feet. Oh, I rhymed that there. That was good, that. I'm not live, by the way. Where is
It
it?
was a slobber knocker, shall we say.
There it is.
Hello.
But yes, big meaty meat match. Walker came out on top. Very good showing from him. It was a very intense, very powerful, very hard-hitting match. Credit to Rory. I think he really took Walker as far as he could take him, pushed Walker to the limits, but Walker got the job done.
Yeah, but then what happened next day? Walker relinquished.
Yes, so you're more of a wordy person than me, so I'll let you explain the relinquishment of the title.
Look, Walker did a little video saying, look, he's going to have to step away. He's relinquishing the belt. So for me, I would have put Rory Shaw in the championship match and you as the last champion. That should have been the match. That should have been the match. You know,
as we've spoke about though, DJB has his favourites, he has his friends.
He does. And who's he go to first? He goes to our friend Dagon, just gives the crowd a bit of a pull. Yeah.
Please win the championship, Dagon, and we can be best friends forever and ever. Shut up, DJB.
Yeah. Well, let's look at a Throne of Vengeance now, because what we just said, Rory Shaw, I was talking earlier on to someone, and I said, the match, Alfie Jackson versus Rory Shaw, we should do a beat the clock match on this and do the second half of it when Asylum faces Hybrid, because I think it would be great as a beat the clock match. And the winner of the beat the clock matches faces the champion of the next show. And, that's what I'd do.
Well,
because, Alfie's going to get his ass kicked. And, the Hybrid's going to get his backside kicked. Asylum's going to love it. And Asylum's got Maxwell with him now. And, of course, Rory Shaw, he's just a big tank. He's going to kill him.
Well, quickly before we throw up the poster, what I will say is we had the return of Nate Sawyer last show as well. We came out onto the stage after the Regal Duels Championship match and addressed the champions and basically gave them a warning saying that he's coming after them belts and he's not coming alone, which is great because no man wants to come alone.
Okay. That's fair enough.
But yes,
right.
Anyway, Throne of Vengeance poster. I don't know who Media Man's called. I know it's not DJB. I wouldn't have him. Throne of Vengeance, 21st February. We are back at the Cheers Bar. Of course, Persona's not on the poster because why would he be? Big Batman is there, front and centre. And then little Spawn face, I can see. They've captured the picture on the tattoo side. They'll be buzzing about that. But yes, Throne of Vengeance. If you haven't got your tickets, get them now. See me send Batman to hell. What is our first match?
Our first match is the Sovereign Shield Championship.
Yeah, no, you're wrong. It's this match. It's on the screen.
Is that the first match?
It's the first match.
No, mine.
Well,
this screen. I've got my running order here. All right, we'll talk about Spawn and Alan Shaw. Now, these two friends will now get in a ring and see who's going to knock 7 bells out of each other. I think, it's young Spawn, his strength, his technical ability against Alan Shaw's speed and determination. That's what this is all about. This is going to get ugly because I can see these two friends falling out. Can you, Persona?
Well, considering what's on the line in this match and what the winner gets, it makes it even more interesting because this match is a number 1 contenders match for the Sovereign Shield Championship. And obviously, tensions have already kind of built up because of the last show, but they made amends and the friends again. But listening to what they both had to say on the page, it seems like this is becoming a very unfriendly contest very quickly. And I don't believe that by the end of this, these two can remain friends. Do I think they can remain professional? Possibly. Do I think they can remain friends? No.
There's needle in this already. 8 shows ago at number 1, when Alan, uh, Johnny Thunder, and Spawn had that magnificent 3-way match. It's going to be absolute carnage, shall we say, that these two are going to fall out. Spawn knows his wrongdoings. He will win.
He will win.
Shake Alan's hand.
See, this is where Dagon again just confuses me, because he just talks utter waffle. Because every time that Spawn attack now and Shoresby mentioned, Dagon keeps saying, "Oh, yeah, I would have done that as well. Eliminate your threats." But now he's saying that he's done the wrong thing. Make your mind about it.
Look, it's dead easy. Spawn will not take prisoners. Alan will not give up. And, these two, this. If I had to guess, this is going to end in a count-out or something like that. I'd love these two in a last man standing match. That would be fantastic. But these two are just going to bray the crap out of each other. I just know it. And I know Spawn well. I know Alan very well. But these two are just going to absolutely. It's going to be like a battle of the biggest battles you've ever seen in a wrestling ring.
But
yeah,
the biggest question is, I've been so happy for Spawn with what he's done, and he busts my head open. Well, this is what I'm saying. I would have, but Spawn is not me. He's pure soul. Well, he's got the same belly.
I thought he said a different type of soul then. Yeah, but that's Spawn. He's an angry young lad. He's 18 now. The world is in front of him, and he feels sometime, he can go out and do what he wants. But I've got 2 rules in life, and the second rule is consequences. And this match is a consequence of his actions. I know what he's done. He's held his hand up. He shouldn't have done it. But the question is, why did you do it in the first place? It's as simple as that. You got plenty of people to talk to. If you wanted to chat, if you feel to get the pressure to you, there's plenty of people who'd give you some advice. You don't go knocking 7 bells out of Alan Shaw to try and get your odds better. Look, you've made your bed, Spawn. Lie in it.
I don't know what to think, but I'm bringing a fight next Saturday. What you've also got to think about with this match as well is that there's a lot for both of these people to lose, and one of them will lose. And what you've got to think is, where do they go from there? Because number 1 contendership on the line, Alan Shaw's had multiple opportunities for this championship. If he loses this opportunity, when's he going to get another one? If Spawn loses this opportunity, not going to get his rematch, means you're back to the line. It's a lot for both of them. People who want to massively succeed, 2 people that think that they've got a lot to prove when it comes to this business, and they both do have a lot of. Alan Shaw, good luck to you. No doubt it's going to be a banger of a match. Thank you, Asriel, if that's your name. I didn't really say it. But, yeah, they both really want to prove themselves to everybody in the business, which they need to at this stage. But unfortunately, there has to be a loser. So, my question for you, Colin, who do you think is going to win?
I think Spawn will win.
You think Spawn will win?
I think he'll do something sneaky. He's been getting, shall we say, he's been getting close to the dark side. The more matches we see, like the chair with Danny Kaye, like the Nate Sawyer malarkey where he should have lost. Well, guess who saved him? Guess who?
Mr. Attention himself.
Yeah, get away, did he? Alan is going to try his hardest, but I don't think Alan would cross a line. Spawn has no problem crossing a line now. No. He knows that he can do it, and he knows he can do it to his advantage. Alan just has to, shall we say, take off the sunglasses and look at Spawn and he's not there as your friend. He's not there as your mate. He's there to knock 7 bells out of you. What you got to do, Alan, and you can win this. You can win this. You go high flying. Your moonsaults, your shooting star presses, whatever. You've got to get him down, and he's a big, strong lad to get down. And once he's down, if he puts you in his submission, and you go to B&Q, Alan, there's only one thing you'll be doing. You'll be buying a bathroom because there's going to be that many taps.
So my prediction for this match is very similar to my prediction last show when it was meant to be a triple threat match. I said that Alan Shaw was going to win because I think he's got the most to prove out of everybody, especially in the IWF. I think he understands that this could potentially be his last chance at this. Spawn might not want it as badly as him. Spawn's already had the Sovereign Shield glory. He's had a long run with it. He's put on good matches with it. He's kind of proved himself with it. I think Alan Shaw's got a lot more to lose, and I think that's a lot more motivating. So my pick is Alan Shaw.
We shall see, Persona. I think it's a toss of a coin. These two young bucks are two of the strongest young wrestlers in the Northeast, and these two can go anywhere they want. Just get your head on and just battle. That's what they're going to do. Our next match. Just check that our media man is awake. There we go. Sweeney, Danny Kay, and Jakob. Well, a promotion for Jakob, I would say. Getting an opportunity to belt this early. And Sweeney, this guy's a crazy cat, isn't he?
I personally know him. I've been in a match with him. He's not somebody who I'd imagine DGB would bring into the IWF. So I believe this was potentially the board's doing of bringing this person in. But yeah, Danny Kay obviously got a lot to prove at his first title defense with the belt. Sweeney obviously will be looking to make an impact. I don't really think Sweeney cares about the belt that much. I think he kind of just wants to go in there and attack people.
He's a disruptor persona. That's what he is. He's a disruptor. I don't think he cares if he wins. He just wants to cause mayhem. Now, I know young Jakob, he will be there kissing his biceps more than Spawn and ready to get sorted out with Danny Kay. But I've seen over the last 12 months, Danny Kay become a little bit more of a slick operation. This young lad has matured greatly. And I think he's only 19 now. And the lad has proven, everyone's astonishment, he beat Spawn. He did. But now he's getting the belt. He's fine. He's retaining the belt persona, to which you are, shall we say, mega holding on to that belt until some pillock throws a spanner in there. No names mentioned.
Can we just put DGB's comment back up? Mr. Editor Man. Jakob earned this after beating one of the best at the King's Rebellion. Now DGB, we've been through this. I am not one of the best. And I say it every single show that I'm on. I say it every single live that I'm on. I say it in every single video that I put on page. So I would think that you would know by now. I am the best. Not one of the best. The best. No, you don't understand. See, this is why you shouldn't be in this job. It's because you don't understand basic English. But anyway, Jakob, obviously in this match, has he earned the right to be in it? Possibly. He beat me, but it might be a bit too early. I think Jakob's going to be coming into this match with lots of confidence. He's probably still going to be riding a high after that. Seems like Jakob is running with some momentum. That momentum can carry you to the highest fights. That is correct, but momentum can also be a very devious liar, and it can make people overconfident, and it can make people lose a lot quicker than they thought they would have. I've been in many of matches where I've been overconfident, where I've underestimated my opponents. There's twice that has happened in the IWF. Once against Lilith in a Rumble, and against Jakob on the last show. It's all well and dandy being confident. It's great, but too much of it, it's a recipe for disaster.
Look, as I said, Danny Kay's not. He might not be even in it at the end. It might be Jakob pins Sweeney or Sweeney pins Jakob, and he's lost his title and he wasn't in the decision. That's the only thing about a triple threat. You've got to have eyes at the back of your head. And I know Danny Kaye will be on swivels, keeping an eye on these two, because you get young Jakob flying around the place, and Sweeney, well, he's gonna gut you, isn't he? He's just gonna give you that rabbit punch and sort you out.
Obviously, triple threat match, so champion has no advantage going into this. It's a very scary match to be in as a champion, because you want to be amongst all the fighting so that you don't miss anything. You can't really run away and hide, because then what if you miss a pin? What if you miss a submission? You're getting there a second too late and it's over and you've lost your title. Obviously, I was in a triple threat match in the IWF for the IWF Championship against Thunder Flash. I won, of course, because I'm the best in the world. But it's a very scary match. It's very hard to plan going into it. And you've got to think on your feet a lot of the time. You're going to take one hell of a beating if you want to keep the title, because you're going to want to be amongst it more than anybody else. Who do you think is going to win?
Of course, triple threats are no DQ. So, this is what I'm worried about. And you saying about our good friend Nate Sawyer. Now, I don't know how much friends he is with Sweeney. I could see possibly Sweeney taking the title here.
Well, me personally, I'm going to go with Danny Kaye. I think every match that Danny Kaye is in, people underestimate him, whether that be the audience and the people that he's in there with.
Mm-hmm.
And Sweeney, I don't think he's there for the title. I think he just wants to hurt people. And I think Jakob, it's too early for him. I think this overconfidence and momentum is going to be his downfall. And I think Danny Kaye is going to sweep in there at the right time and retain that title.
Yeah, well, anything could happen in a three-way, and it as usually happens. Right, what's our next match, Mr. Media Man?
Well, I'm getting a drink while you tell them.
You go. Oh, well, here we go. Right, okay. Right, Alfie Jackson, Rory Shaw. Well, I don't think this is going to last long. I think this is going to be an easy night for our Rory Shaw. Alfie, love the lad all day long. Put it this way, he's going to get a kick in tomorrow. He's going to be steamrolling tomorrow. Absolutely. He doesn't keep his eye on the game, but this game, he's a tank. Absolutely.
Well, all I'm going to say is that justice has prevailed when it comes to the decrement. They walked out on me during that contract signing. They left me defenseless, so I was grinning ear to ear when this match got announced. This seems so mismatched, like you have a heavyweight versus a cruiserweight. Well, it's just what happens, unfortunately. I was grinning ear to ear when this match got announced, because I thought that justice truly has prevailed. I get to watch Rory Shaw steamroll Alfie Jackson. I get to watch Alfie Jackson get peppered around that IWF ring. And I might even sit in the crowd for this one. I cannot wait to see that little weasel get... Oh my God, I can't wait to see him get killed. I have a feeling that Alfie could surprise a lot of people here. Well, DJB, I have a feeling that I don't care for your opinion.
You put your mortgage on Rory Shaw, wouldn't you?
Oh, I'd put everything on.
Absolutely. It's just it's an unbelievable athlete. He's Rory Shaw, and I know the cardio and the strength training that this guy does. He's a big horse, and one thing he's got speed as well. You don't expect speed of a big man. No. This guy, he's fast as a cat. Absolutely. He's going to mow him down. Alfie should definitely use speed here and his agility. Yeah. Rory hits him with one punch, he'll be down like an acid lift. It's as simple as that. He's not going to get up. It doesn't matter if you got hybrid outside, Doesn't matter if you got all the fans there. Rory Shaw is going to disappoint a lot of people by giving Alfie Jackson his last rites, I think.
So again, about that, Alfie Jackson needs to use his speed. Have you what? So the two things I'm going to say now. First of all, if your attribute is speed and you're against Rory Shaw, who is a freakishly fast big man, what do you do when you go to use speed and Rory Shaw's quicker than you? Persona, are you vaping? I'll do what I want to, GB, shut up. What do you do when your main thing's speed and then Rory Shaw is quicker than you? Also, have you seen Alfie Jackson run? Because I have. I've seen Alfie Jackson run full speed, and it's like watching Stephen Hawking run on stilts.
That's a bit harsh, but I know where you're coming from. Yeah.
It's not a pretty sight. I cannot wait for Rory Shaw to pick Alfie Jackson up, hopefully slam him on his head, and call it a night. And I'll be clapping, I'll be smiling, and I'll be raring to go.
When Rory Shaw puts him in that tour of the islands, he's going to go through the mat, isn't he? He's going to go through the mat. I think I'd get his best mate to get a stretcher ready for Alfie Jackson. It's going to be as simple as that.
So are we in the same boat when it comes to who do we think?
There's only one boat on this one, and that's the steamliner Rory Shaw.
Alfie Jackson's on it.
The little rowing boat of Alfie Jackson's gonna lose his oars very quickly.
Well, what is our next match?
Oh, well,
it's another one. It's more justice.
Hey, if I didn't know better, I thought you were the general manager put these two matches in there.
I wish.
Hey,
I wish I could claim these.
Well, do you think the board's had something to do with this? Because I can't see DJB deciding to do this because
DJB could still be trying to punish the detriment for the months of
shenanigans.
Yeah, all that kind of jazz. But we've got Asylum versus Hybrid, who lost a copy last month, so this should be fun. Obviously, Asylum, also, it's just been announced that he has a new spokesperson, a new manager.
Yes. I know this gentleman, Maxwell, is a devious gentleman, and put it this way. He's not quiet either. He does a lot of shouting, and put it this way, he's certainly got Asylum. He's a perfect manager for him. This guy, he absolutely makes sure Asylum gets all the right calls on this one. Asylum, because if you got Maxwell running around this ring, he's going to divert attention. Alfie Jackson, he'll be out of it by this time. He'll be in Sunderland Royal Infirmary. That by the time Hybrid comes out, so you haven't got anyone looking after Hybrid, and I think this is just going to go. This is just going to go one way. I can't see anything apart from Asylum winning this.
Well, one thing I will say that makes this match even scarier for Hybrid is that Asylum, obviously with Maxwell now in Asylum's corner. Asylum is he's the brute, he's got the strength, doesn't really have a brain, a bit like a dinosaur. But now that he's got a brain behind him, and he's got someone who's intellectually capable, does that make Asylum even more dangerous?
You remember that rumble that Asylum was in earlier in the year and just kept yucking everyone out, didn't he? He is the monster, Asylum, and that's been his moniker for a lot of years. And I know this guy has been around the scene for a number of years, and he's not a gentle giant. He's a beast, absolute beast. And you got the maniacal brain of Maxwell behind it. As I said, Hybrid is he'll be in Dream Street and very quickly, and it's a toss-up whether Hybrid loses quicker than Alfie Jackson. It's as simple as that. And I don't know whether detriment are coming back from this. I think these two are going to need time off because they're both going to need to recuperate. I can't see him at the next show somehow. You know, even on planning, you think, why would you put these two in another match, even next month? Because these two are going to get absolutely pummeled.
I think if last show didn't happen and if Hybrid didn't lose to Copy, would be speaking very differently on this, because Hybrid isn't a small lad. He can do the work in the ring, but I think he's at a very low point now, and I think this match couldn't have come at a worse time, which I am ecstatic about.
Right. It's just that the hardest part about this that I feel is that Hybrid thinks he can beat Asylum. And at this current stage and Hybrid's mental state, losing to Copy, I think he's already lost the match. Because sometimes if you've got the match right in your mind, you've got a good chance. But I think he's already lost this because he's not in the right frame of mind. He'd be worried about Alfie. And you know how these two are like this, aren't they? The buddies.
Star-crossed lovers.
And the worst part about it is he might not be inside. He might be getting treatment by the medical team on the show. And look, Hybrid, the best thing I'd do is try to get a replacement somehow.
Well, what is our next match? And while Colin introduces this match, I'm going to go and stop my dogs from fighting. Bring up the next match.
All right. Tag team match for the Real Duos Tag Team Championship. Thunder Flash, Johnny Thunder and Johnny Flashback faced Nil. Now, Nil stands for next in line. And the two guys, if you look at the poster, the one near Flashbacks, that's Danny Clark. And the young lad to the right of the poster, that's young Mr. Monroe. These two guys from Scotland, these are quick, sharp, as fast as you can get. They're aggressive, they're strong. That Monroe guy, he's got a gob on him as well. He will wind everyone up. Look, Thunder Flash, clap it or whatever, but Monroe and Clark, Nil are coming there to beat you up, and they will do. They will do. A lot of fame in Scotland. These guys are going places in Scotland. I'd have them down here at IWF. I know Dropkick on Sunday. Danny Clark was filling in for UG Mackey, and he did absolutely fabulously. And when I knew these two teams were cranking up, I'm thinking, great. I've just seen Danny fight, and I'm just happy that these two tag teams are cracking on. I can see a Flashback and Johnny Thunder, in jeopardy in this match because they don't know a lot about these two young lads, and what it is sometimes knowing your opponents, and sometimes if you know not a lot about them, they're going to surprise you. These guys, young Monroe, flies all over the place. Danny Clark will club you. Absolutely. We know that Johnny Thunder, he's just a wildcat, is Johnny Thunder. He just puts his body on the line. And Johnny Flashback, he'll just go for hours and hours. The lad he's just great to watch. He is a good role model, but at the end of the day, Monroe and Clark on Nil, next in line, maybe next in line for the championship.
Yeah, I missed half of what you said there, but it's fine. I can think. I think that Thunder Flash again are being thrown into unknown territory, going against people that have never been in the IWF before. That's fine, happens. But you've got to think, are one of these new teams going to catch them off guard? Or one of these teams going to walk in there who, obviously, Johnny Thunder knows this team quite well, but Flashback does not. NIL, what do they stand for again?
Next in line, that's what it stands for.
Next in line. I think they could come in, they could surprise a lot of people, and I said the same thing about Blaze of Glory. if they come in here and sneak the win and steal the titles, run off to Scotland with them, we could have a very angry Thunder Flash on our hands come February.
Look, it's very simple. Next in line are nothing like Blaze of Glory. These two are coming down to win and win by any means necessary. There'll be no happy clappies. There'll be no fist pumps. It'll be nothing like that.
Is there going to be
These guys mean business.
Is there going to be any of that?
Highly unlikely. Mr. Fahrenheit is not there. Although Brian probably won't get a shock this month anyway.
So
But at least he got his temperature taken anyway. And I won't allude to what my co-commentator, a young Mr. Taylor, said. But if you get the Patreon, you'll quite happily find out what he said, because I looked at him as soon as he said it, and I just give him a clip by the back of the look.
Speaking on Brian getting his temperature checked, a rumour that I've heard that's been going around is that Brian actually went for a follow-up appointment after the show.
Did he now?
That's what I heard.
And? All right, okay. Right, fair enough. You start a story, you leave a legacy, don't you?
Brian, I hope it's not too serious. I hope you don't have to keep going for these appointments. And I hope your health is well.
Yes, just put the cream on it, Brian.
Yeah, that'll work well. But Colin, who do you think is going to walk away the Regal Duos champions?
Next in line.
With DJB, pull your Colin back up. Persona, are you spreading porkies? Your girlfriend is a porky. Brian, thank God for that. Oh.
Yeah. Amazing medical nowadays, isn't it? Next in line to win. They're going to sneak it, and they're going to rob them of the championships.
Oh, do you know what? I'll agree with you.
See, it's not a problem to agree with me. It's just, I think they won't know what's hit them. These two are that quick and that fast, that strong, and these two, all of a sudden, will be fighting an uphill battle. That's what I'm thinking, Persona.
Yep, I agree. I think that the chemistry of these two is going to be what will carry them to championship silver, because the belts are silver in the IWF. Anyway, what is our next match? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So we have Throne of Vengeance. IWF will be crowning the first ever IWF Women's Liberty Champion. And it is between these four: Sylphrina, Kirsty Love, Penelope Grace, and Piper Reynolds.
Right.
Obviously, Sylphrina is the local IWF favourite going into this one. Kirsty Love, the most experienced in the match. Penelope Grace and Piper Reynolds, I believe, are both two new up-and-comers in the scene. Don't really know them too well. I believe you might know them better than me.
Yeah, I know Penelope Grace. She was at our Red show last year, and she's been training up to Scotland. I think she recently came back from China from a tour. This girl is going places. Out of the four of them, my pick, as soon as I saw her name mentioned, I'm thinking Penelope Grace. You know, this young lass, she's only in her late teens now, but she's got aggression. She's got a bit of sass, has the lass, shall we say. Kirsty Love, been brave people for years. Piper Reynolds, I met Piper Reynolds, and she has a good career in front of us. So, Freda, I hope that she will put her all into it, but I think the experience in front of her, she might struggle, but I feel she'll go for it. But my win here is Penelope Grace, and if Penelope doesn't do it, it's Kirsty Love. It's between them two.
Me personally, Sylphrina is one who I think Sylphrina in the IWF has been a very inconsistent performer when it comes to wins and losses and all that kind of jazz. Obviously, she had the big rivalry with Summer Rain, which she came out on top of, but it wasn't without its struggles. Kirsty, very experienced, hits a lot harder than many male wrestlers. I think she could shell shock a few of the women in this match right off the bat. Obviously, experience does go a very, very, very long way in this business. Coming down to the simple things that the audience won't even know about, things like ring position and ring awareness, all that kind of jazz, which she will have nailed down to a T. Penelope Grace, as you said, probably goes in every match that just got full momentum. Everyone's looking at her. Everyone wants to book her. Good on her. Piper Reynolds. I think Piper Reynolds is my pick to win this match. Believe it or not. I think Piper Reynolds, out of everybody, is going to be the most overlooked one. And I think she's going to be the most overlooked by the individuals involved in the match. Obviously, this match will have a 15-minute time limit.
Yeah.
The woman with the most pinfalls or submissions when the timer is over will be crowned champion. I do believe that Piper could go into this as the forgotten one and walk out champion because of that reason. I think we could see a lot of targeting on Kirsty by the women in the match. Try and get rid of the veteran, and then I think Piper will steal it.
Hey, it happens. It absolutely happens. I've seen these 4-way matches. All of a sudden, you can be that far behind, you need snookers, and all of a sudden, you get a pin, and then you get another pin very quickly, and all of a sudden, you're in. You're in the frame. Silfrida with her heart, I love her dearly, but this is experience. If what she takes out of this, if she doesn't win it, it's experience out of it. In a ring with these 3 ladies, someone with the absolute experience, Kirsty, and with Penelope and Piper. Look, it can only be good for her. But if she does pull it off, great. I'm happy for the young lass. But look, I think this is a stepping stone. It's not a coronation.
Yep, I agree. I think even if Silfrina doesn't come out with this match as the champion, I think we're going to see her around that championship for a long time in IWF.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you need to lose to know how to get better, because you re-look at what you did wrong or what you could have done better, and all of a sudden you think, I could have done that. Should have done this. Guess what? The only way you learn is by losing and gaining your experience. Well, I think we're ready for this one, aren't we? I think we've only got one left, have we?
I believe we do.
We've only got... I thought so. Right, okay.
Well, obviously, I just wanted the match against Batman. I said he can pick the stipulation, pick what he wants. I don't care. I don't think the IWF is big enough for both of us. So I want rid of him. I didn't like the way that he came in and tried to get all handsy with me after the Jakob incident. Bearing in mind, I didn't actually hit Jakob with the chair. I put the chair down. So there was no need for him to come barreling out like some sort of superhero when nothing was actually going on and making it all about him. But we signed the contract. He put us through the table for no reason. Again, I didn't lay a finger on him, and he decided to put us through a table. So that's fun. And I think Dagon needs to be taught a lesson. And he's picked a coffin match. And the loser goes to hell, which means after February 21st, either Dagon or Persona will no longer be in the IWF. Which means if I lose, which I won't, if I lose, we might not see this show ever again. This could be the last show.
No, I'm sure it will be. Look, Persona, I feel that you've got this. The only thing I would advise you is don't let it get too personal.
I didn't touch your daughter. See, this is where it just starts getting a bit silly.
Yes, look, it's very simple. Just be professional. just look at him as an opponent. He'll try and get in your mind persona. That's what he does. He does all this mystic spookiness. I hear this week he's actually got a new sponsor. Have you heard about this?
No.
It's Saga Holidays for the over 50s. I hear he's just got a booking for them now. And he can't wait to just go on this holiday cruise of a lifetime after he gets shellacking by the goat. It's very simple. And I know he still he still thinks he can do it. And good luck to him, but I can't see Persona losing 2 matches in a row.
Prince Dagon
Never in a
put
month or so.
Persona in the coffin and close it with nails. Okay.
Yeah.
And there will be second time visit to my world. Right.
Right, whatever. Look, it's
Obviously,
very simple.
I want to quickly say something about this match, actually. So, obviously, it was Dagon's choice what the stipulation was. He could have picked any stipulation in the world, and he chooses to pick a coffin match. Now, if history serves me correctly, which it does, I've beat Dagon in a coffin match in my lifetime. I've done it once. I can do it again. And what I will say, Dagon, is I think it's quite disgusting that you've picked a coffin match with the rules being that one of us are banished to hell, because I don't trust you, Persona, and Colin and I can't wait to wave that belt in front of your face, and this time it won't be an illusion. Oh. Well,
now that takes me back a bit.
Do you know what?
Can I just say?
I'm going to get to. Go for it.
He's got all capitals. He's
Yeah,
wound up like, isn't he?
You can imagine
He's got all capitals. He's like this. Oh, he's got his handbag. Oh, and he's going to hit you with that handbag. Well, watch out. There might be a house brick inside it.
So what I will say is I'm quite disgusted that Dagon picked a coffin match where the loser is banished to hell, because if memory serves me correctly, Dagon, when we're talking about the illusion that happened, before the illusion, Dagon, I believe, was banished to hell. And then he came back, and he started wearing red face paint, and he was all evil. And then he started wearing red lipstick, and he was quite a nice lad, and he was a bit of an idiot, but he was nice. And his family started to like him again after he disgraced him with his red face paint. And now I don't understand why Strange turned to Dagon, because everybody liked Strange. He was getting on great with his family. Everything was going great for Strange, but then he realised that he's not the main character anymore. He realised that the IWF isn't about him anymore. He realised that not every single match on the card revolves around him. Not every belt revolves around him. So he had to go buy himself a mask, and he had to go get himself a new fancy outfit because he craves relevancy. Doesn't matter what his family thinks, even though his family loved Strange, and that was probably the best times that they've had with the dad. Oh, no, we're going back in time now. We're going to go back to being Dagon, and I'm going to be broody, and I'm going to be this, and I'm going to be that, and we're going to get Pandemus back together, even though we're all kind of secretly hated being like that because you were too controlling. But let's do it all again. So what I will say is, Dagon, when you do lose this match and you go back to hell, and if you do inevitably come back, are we going to see evil Dagon again? Are you going to start attacking your own family again and attacking fans and attacking mothers and going on this rampage again if you do lose? Is that what you're going to do with your family? Because you've put your family in this position by putting us in this match. You didn't think about your family when it came to this match. You were too busy thinking with your ego and about how you just wanted to put the best in the world away, tell everyone that you beat Persona and that the darkness is gone because of me, but you weren't thinking about the consequences if you lost. So you've questioned for a while now, why do I help Lilith? Why do I listen to Lilith? It's quite simple, because I want her to escape from the hell that is your family. I don't want her to get poisoned by you and your disgusting, fragile ego. That's why I help her, because I think that she could be better than you and Spawn. But you will never, ever, ever allow that to happen, because you don't want your children to be better than you. You don't want your children to go further than you in this business. So, February 21st, when I put you in that coffin, when I put you in the dirt, don't come back all evil and ruin everything that you've done. Just take it like a man. And also, enjoy hell.
Yeah, well, it'll be warm on that Saga holiday. A nice cruise, nice warm place, won't it? You might get a suntan, you know. He's a bit pasty like, but we shall crack on. Look, the card for a week on Saturday is immense. Get your tickets ready for it. I just can't wait. 10 for adults, 5 for kids. Get yourself down there. It's going to be a hell of a battering. Even if you just come to watch Persona beat Dagon, you know, that's worth the price of admission. But you got all those other 6 matches, 7 matches on the card anyway. So crack on. You're seeing some of the best and the youngest talent in the northeast of Scotland and the north of England, and they're gonna go hell's bells at it. So I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I've got my prep done. My prep's ready. I can't wait.
Obviously, next time we do this show, I will be a champion, so it's going to be even better.
I just think it'll be Hall of Fame and a champion. I'm
there
sure.
we go, new title.
Yeah.
Anyway, Throne of Vengeance, February 21st. Where are we at again for this show? The Cheers Bar.
Cheers.
Tickets are on sale now. If you haven't got them already, contact the page or pay on the door on the night. If you contact the page and get your tickets that way, you can reserve your seat. But be quick because lots of people do it and lots of seats get reserved. So don't go crying if you can't reserve one because you've left it too long. You got any final words to say?
I'm just thinking it's going to be a cracker of a night. I can't wait. I think I've got Captain Taylor with me, and I don't know if I've got Captain Ginger Bean with me as well. So we shall see who I get stuck with this time. Or it could be the verbal diarrhea of DJB, but we'll wait and see. Look, it's going to be a cracking night. I can't wait to see you there. And let me be first to shake your hand when you win Persona.
Oh,
and
you
just
can
to remind them, there is only one GOAT and there is only one genius. And we sat here. Night from me, and it's night from him. And I just can't wait for next Saturday. See you soon.
Empire reigns.